Jeremiah Love's draft stock is fascinating because there are teams that have him number one on their board. There are teams that do believe he's the best player in this draft, the best football player in this draft. That's the way these boards go. Now, there's other things that come into play. Obviously, there's the economics. I'll get to that in a second. But a lot of people do believe his day starts at pick number 3. Could he potentially go 3 to Arizona? I think there's a chance he could. I'm not saying they take him. They could go Styles. They could go Reese. They could go offensive line. But he could go as high as 3. And then you look at where he could potentially land if it's a place like the Titans at 4, and he certainly can create explosive plays all over the field. Teams are looking at Jeremiah Love, and I know the value at running back is different, but they're looking at him as an offensive weapon. He catches the football out of the backfield so well. We're talking about a prospect that is not like Ashton Genty a year ago, who went 6. We're talking about a prospect that is far and away better than Ashton Genty in teams' minds. This is a guy that's in the Saquon category, the Bijan Robinson category, the kind of Christian McCaffrey category. He's in that group to where he is that high up in terms of being an offensive weapon, of can do pretty much everything you're looking for from a running back, from the balance standpoint, from the vision standpoint, from the ability to have explosive plays carrying the football, from lining up split off the formation. He can do everything. The Titans could be finding a lot of value in that. Now, why did I mention that he could potentially be there for the Commanders at 7? Well, there's an economic impact to this. If he goes drafted 4th or 5th overall, say he goes to the Giants, say he goes to the Titans at 4 or 5, he's already the 8th highest running back in the NFL. That's the scale that you're dealing with. And that's why you see edge rushers and quarterbacks and wide receivers and corners and tackles. Those guys go in the top of drafts because you end up paying so much on the second contract. You want to get the valuable years, that first contract, out of those premium positions. That's the difference. If you look and you took an edge rusher that high, they're like the 40th highest edge rusher paid per year when you look at their rookie contract. So that's the economic aspect to where does Arizona at 3 or the Titans at 4 go? We're not getting enough of the dollar value, even though we think this guy's outstanding. Does he drop to somebody like the Washington Commanders at 7? That's why looking at Jeremiah Love and as talented as he is a really, really interesting aspect of this top 10. I'd also say this, and I mentioned it earlier, and I'll repeat it now that we're talking about Love. Arvell Reese and Jeremiah Love are 2 players that I could see a team trading up for. That's how high their ceiling is. I think Arvell Reese's ceiling is through the roof just because he's such a rare player. And if there's comps to Micah Parsons, look out. And that player is becoming more and more valuable. That off the ball type of edge rusher, use these different things. It's not just Micah. There's a number of those guys that are now starting to pop up in the league. And then with Love, when you look at what Jahmyr Gibbs has done, what Bijan Robinson has done, what Christian McCaffrey has done. McCaffrey was like a top 10 wide receiver this year. That type of player, that versatility as an offensive weapon for explosive plays is very, very valuable. So those could be guys that teams play up for, where the economics plays into it, and that's where things could get very, very interesting.